Well, hey, everybody. They say it's the end of the Great Freight Recession. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what the smart people are saying and get some of your thoughts on it. We'll do that right after this.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena. I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
So Craig was first, go figure. Just saying. He was like, hey, he was all late too. It was like minutes and minutes. Like normally everybody's like, bam, bam, bam. Like I think everybody needs a nap today like I do. That's what I'm thinking. So then it was like 3 minutes later and 1666 came in. And then, good God, another 4 minutes, then Matt came in. So I don't even know, man. Like everybody's off today. It's great. Just running behind. Charlie better not say a bad word. That's funny. Oh my gosh, I almost went political right there and said a word. That would have been hilarious. I would have gotten in trouble. Jeff would have been like, bro, what are you doing? I'd have been like, it was funny. And then see, and it's not even one of those considered bad words. But anyhow, Bear Hunter, what's going on? Chris Hamilton, Donna, Pete, what's up, Pete? Brian Jess, Marion, Indiana, nice. Matt Nissen said he was going to go to bed, but he's still over here like talking, so who knows if he's still here. Trucker Tim, good to see you, buddy. Who else we got? I don't even know. It's too much to scroll through. Don Hamey was here a little bit ago. You know what? Hey, what's up, everybody? I need a nap. Anybody else need a nap? Good Lord. Jeff is running behind. So he was at a customer yesterday where they're talking about, big sign out in the parking area, the loading dock. Hey, we really value our truckers and we promise to get you loaded and unloaded in under 2 hours. 8 hours later, he finally got loaded. So his schedule's all screwed up. He actually just hit the truck stop, was trying to back into a spot, hitting the old head, and maybe he'll make it in here. We'll see. I'm drinking Cafe Bustelo because I could not even hardly keep my eyes open before this, so that's going to be fun. That will be fun. Let's see. Here comes the giggle. Oh, Lord. Yeah, like Matt said, I like red. Huh. Hey, Dennis, what's up, man? Good to see you. Glad you're alive and doing well, and we're in PA. Oh, nice. Landslide, they said. Just saying. Just going to throw it out there because it's fun. Hey, Pokey. She's so funny. Oh, man. Ida's got some crazy runs. Hey, Ida, did that stuff ever materialize? Connecticut, Iowa, Denton, weird stuff? Just curious. I was going to call today and ask and see what happened with all that stuff. But I didn't because I've been dragging all day. I got up early today. It was weird. Went to bed really late. Got up really early. It was dumb. Nice. Well, I appreciate everyone who votes. I don't care who they voted for. How's that? 1666. It's a wimpy name, isn't it? It is, right? Come on. I'm going with that by chat style topics, things like that. Anyhow, how's the load board working out? Well, there's some stuff they're working on with that. There has been quite an increase in freight on it lately. I haven't actually looked at it. Chris Hamilton may be able to give you a little bit better thought on that. Trucker Tim may be able to chime in on that as well. I haven't looked at it in the last week and a half or two, something like that. I don't actually have a login for it because, I'm a team on Target right now, so they don't let me see it. Whatever. I'm not bitter. Maybe a little bit. That's 312 electoral votes, not 212. Load board failed. No, it didn't. It's actually working. And I guess they're working on a new pay package that, they're trying to talk about. We'll see what happens with that. I say anyone with questions about the new pay package that they're talking about come spring, calm down, hold your horses, wait and see what it is. Don't try and speculate. Don't try and guess. Don't be asking, oh, what's it doing? What's it doing? Just slow down. Slow down, relax, let them develop the system. As we get information, we'll release it to you Swift guys. So nobody's talking about the load board. It failed. That's funny. That's not true though, but okay. I don't care. It is. There's a bunch of Amazon loads on there. It's something they worked out with Amazon. Apparently most of those loads have been running pretty well. Like no cancellation. Yeah, like Chris said. I haven't heard of any of those canceling yet, so we'll see how that continues because that could be pretty good for a lot of you guys, especially since they're coast runs, How's everybody doing out there? Where y'all at? What the hell's going on? Jeff is in, I think, Alabama. Something like that. Yeah. Tim said, I think the load board's great if you're in the right area. Some nice cross-country loads with Amazon. Christmas trees. Oh, my gosh. It's too early for Christmas trees. Chris is in Cali. 66 Indianapolis. Christmas trees. Gosh, man, I do not miss running those things. Those are a pain. Newport, Tennessee. Matt. How's your truck running, Matt? Any more problems this week, man? I hope not. James in Laredo, there's a shocker. Blackbeard, Theodore, Alabama. Nice. Like I said, I think Jeff's in Alabama somewhere. I'm not sure where. Probably somewhere along I-10, though. I think the last thing I heard, we was like 20 or 30 miles from Mobile or something like that. Brian, I have to load the Valentine's Day candy, right? I know, man. It's just too early for Christmas in my head. I've never got to do that, Ida, doing the wreaths across America. I think that would be cool. I would enjoy that. That'd be awesome. trees die, candy will still be on the shelf in July. Ain't that the truth? Excuse me. Bear with me while I'm waiting for my Bustelo to kick in. Good Lord. Ida, you should have came down here today and just done my show for me. That would have been fantastic. Just saying. Look for bungee cords, you might find Jeff. Ain't that the truth? You know, it's funny. He was actually going to put bungee cords on the front of his truck just because so many people are used to seeing it. And I think that would have been hilarious. Just saying. Oh, get here quickly. Yeah, I wouldn't drive that giant truck of yours because there's a couple corners that it ain't gonna make it around fast enough for you to get here in time. Just saying. When Craig and I walked out of the TA in Osseo, Wisconsin, it started like it was fuel started, but other than that, the way these rockers are tight and couldn't tell it was running at first. Nice. Super Trucker 1984. Wow, the rate's still trash. Well, I guess we could start getting into that. So, according to I was looking at a FreightWaves story today and yesterday, and so it's funny because the spot market rates are on the rise. In fact, almost the entire market on the spot market is on the rise. Let me see if I can make this visible. I'm stealing this from FreightWaves from the YouTube channel, and I'm just going to throw up a screen share here to give you an idea of what they're seeing. And I actually think it's pretty fascinating. Let's do a tab. See if that works. I think that's going to work. And if you haven't, go check out this story from FreightWaves. It's pretty good. But you see all that blue on that map? None of these guys have ever seen this ever happen. All that blue means the rates are on the rise. There's like 9 or 10 little slight pink areas, which means that they're on the decline. But the rest of the country's all blue. It's crazy, man. Like, it's absolutely bizarre to me. And then if you look at their chart on the tender rejections, it's only the second time in the last couple of years we've been over 6% right here. This pink line is last year, and it's down at like 3%. For those of you who don't know what the tender rejection is, tender rejections have to do with the contract freight and carriers. And they get this contract freight, and because of market conditions or whatever other reason, they'll actually start rejecting the loads that they're contracted to pull, and it gets thrown out in the spot market, right? And when this starts happening, it means that there's amazing things happening typically in the market. If you look at this year versus last year, the pink line versus the blue line, we are definitely moving in the right direction. And then the spot market rates right now, this week there was a big, well, there was a increase in the spot market rates. Let me find that map. So I don't know if you can see how well you can see it, but this white line is this year. So this is a spot market rate that's been running along. I believe green was 22, pink is 23, white is this year. This right here, this marker, this indicator, they are pretty certain that this is going to start climbing up this way, steadily, almost at this angle for a minute. In the past years, you can see what's been going on. There's been a drop, and then, well, you can't see on this shot here. Let me see if I can get a shot where he's not standing in the way. Let's see if that one, no. Probably going to get in trouble for using too much of this. Anyhow, you can see that this, I mean, we're almost, in fact, we're above the rates for last year already. And we're set to definitely pass up 22's numbers. So I think the rates are actually on the climb. I mean, you know, if you're not seeing it, I would start expecting, because this number started, I believe, last week. I think they said somewhere around the 7th or the 8th. Anyhow, this is from the Freight Waves video, and the title of the article was "The Great Freight Recession is Dead." I highly recommend you go watch that video. The article, the reading part of the article, you can also listen to on audio, is about 5 minutes long. This video does it way more justice. They get a lot deeper into what's been going on with the market here in this video, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. Like, it's a very optimistic, and it's a good video. It's full of a lot of good information. So I would definitely go check that out. But like I said, man, the numbers that are starting to pop up are going to start looking really good. I think for everyone out there in the market, it's really starting to do much better. Oh, let's see. Speaking of, where is the rusty Western Star driver? Just saying, he may or may not be down there putting food in his face, which is cool. JD Vance is shareholder in Freightways. I don't believe it. Hey, whatever, man. That's all good. There's lots of stuff that I think is going to start popping here. And you know what's funny is actually some of this stuff is actually prior to the election happening. They're also talking about the impact of all those people that came up on that prohibited list on the what you call it. Dang it, Jeff, I need your words. From the clearinghouse, that's it. On the drug stuff. So they're coming up prohibited, and there's 177,000 drivers that are possibly going to get impacted by this on November 19th. So we've had a huge dumping of capacity drivers prior to this, which is what we've been screaming for the last year and a half, really. This recession has been 2.5 years in the making. It's the worst one we've seen. I mean, it is officially the worst we've seen, at least in since we've been tracking this stuff since deregulation. And on the 19th, potentially 177,000 drivers are going to lose their CDLs because of all of the prohibited drug clearinghouse stuff. You know what I mean? And that by itself could be a huge impact. So add that with the loss in capacity we've been hoping for and finally seeing. They're not expecting a ton of new capacity coming in like we did on the last big recovery, right? Because there's no incentives out there to buy trucks. The stimulus is coming. Well, there's not. The stimulus is coming in the form of, now with the election having happened, with Trump talking about the tariffs and all that other stuff that's going on, they're expecting a huge shift. They're expecting a big boom now prior to January, with a lot of shippers or retailers and things like that super ordering a ton of freight that's coming over from China, right? So they can just jam up the warehouses, so they've got all this back stock on hand. So that's going to start coming in. The intermodal market, they're actually expecting to start dropping, and rail and truckload, they're expecting to just skyrocket over the next few months. So it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays out. What's up, Jeff? Where'd you end up parking, man? What state you in? Where you at?
I have no idea, man. Why do you think I know where I'm at?
I think that's great.
I could tell you in a minute, though.
That's hilarious. He's just like, I don't even know, bro. I found a truck stop. It was open in a spot. That's a good day.
Lucedale, Mississippi.
Oh, that's almost Alabama.
U.S. Highway 98, Hooper Road. That's where I'm at.
Yes, Craig. The SAP list from the clearinghouse. Dude, good God, Jeff's going to die. Yeah, so that's a light switch basically that they're saying is just going to get flipped on the 19th. So that's kind of crazy. Add that with the diminished capacity we've already been seeing, the increase in freight that needs to get moved. This could be pretty fantastic coming up into probably through January from what they're saying and from what we've seen in the past. February is probably going to just be garbage like it normally is come February. Let's just prepare for that and know that that's going to happen. But then once those tariffs start hitting, and because I mean they were talking about in that article that a bunch of manufacturers have already started committing prior to the election to moving some manufacturing back because they thought there was a chance that this was going to happen. I can't remember which shipper or which customer it was they were talking about, manufacturer rather, that they said had already committed to bringing 40% of their manufacturing back into the U.S. and are already making that happen now. So those guys, and again, can't remember who it is. It slips in my mind because need more coffee. And
Right.
but that was one person or one company, and they said there's multiple companies that are already doing that. And now all those other ones that were like, well, let's wait and see what the election does, they're all going to jump out of their tails to make this happen. So we'll see how it starts to play out. I think the market's really going to start just slamming.
Well, let's look at things objectively. There's a lot of emotion around all of this right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's talk about reality. In the past, when tariffs are levied, U.S. manufacturers bring manufacturing home, which creates jobs, which creates disposable income, which creates inflation, which is what ends up getting people upset is the inflation.
Right.
They're not thinking about all the guys that have been out of work for the last however long that all of a sudden they have a job.
Right.
They're
not even jobs report. Let's be real, because they've been out so long.
Right. Someone asked earlier, what's the real inflation number? Why don't you tell me? Obviously, because if you know, you're special because nobody knows.
Right.
All the numbers that you get from government, newspapers, reporting agencies, none of it's correct. I think that the one that usually hits it closest is the Wall Street Journal, because they actually analyze the entire market instead of just consumables. Or my favorite one is the one that you get from the government itself, and that's like, the price of cars went up 10%. Okay, well, my loaf of bread that I have to eat went up 40%. So okay,
yeah,
it's all skewed. So yeah, I think at 1666, I think you're a little low on that. Food 25%. It's closer to 35 or 40.
I know
Last time
trucking
I actually bothered to look.
basically doubled come this past January.
Right. Yeah. Well, not for everybody.
For quite a few, right? For the majority of the industry. Not our guys, but whatever.
Well, so we could talk to that a little bit without pissing people off. Look, you're business owners, assumedly, right? What we saw in the insurance business, part of what we were involved in is, and I'll call them out, Progressive freaking Insurance, who I have always had a bone to pick with because of things that I'm not going to get into. But I've never had Progressive. I will never have Progressive because I just don't like the damn company. They jacked the rates on FizDam for their trucking clients by 100% in January. Bam! Sorry about your luck. No, you've been with us for 30 years. No, nothing. They just jacked everybody's rates. So what do you do when that happens? I can tell you what a lot of people did that I talked to at truck stops that I saw on Facebook. They sat there and complained about it. Well, have you shot for other insurance? There is no other. What do you mean there's no other insurance? Are you kidding me? Get out there and shop. One of my biggest beefs with the ACA, I used to pay for my own health insurance. It was $200 and some odd a month. Covered me, my wife, and our 3 children at the time. Great coverage, medium deductible, but that was covered by the health savings account that we had.
Right.
As soon as government got involved in health insurance, bam, I was priced out of the market within a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got to go hand out to Uncle Sam for help. Didn't
Right.
have to before, but the reason I tell that story at this time is we would shop for health insurance. People are like, "Oh, you can't afford private health insurance." The heck you say? I just shopped around, man. It's kind of weird in health insurance because you can't buy health insurance across state lines. There's a weird thing there um, that the ACA was supposed to fix and didn't. But anyway, um, so yeah, there was in the state of Oregon at the time there was like 5 or 6 different carriers that provided health insurance, and we just picked the one that was best for us. Bam! Now think about that, Charlie.
Right.
$200 some odd to cover a whole family. We could afford it. Wasn't a big deal. We didn't need Swift's benefits
Right.
as owner operators. We were taking care of business ourselves. Same thing with trucking insurance. There's more than one game in town. And the good news is, depending on where you live, that's what determines where you can buy your insurance from. That's something to keep in mind. Like if you have a place like Charlie in Florida, good luck. Anyway,
Super high.
it is. But shop around, man. If you got your insurance rates jacked, shop around. I'm gonna say check out Seabright
Right.
because why not? We like them. We've seen them give good rates to our Swift guys, and as we pick up more people from outside of Swift, great rates there too. So I don't know. Shop around, man.
I'm watching your face.
That's got to be Pote, Rick Pote.
Sure.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. We found McPote. We found Wimpy. We
I said
found
that
Wimpy.
earlier. I said that's got to be a wimpy account. Anyhow, he says the insurance companies offer you a lower rate as soon as you switch companies, they jack your rates up. So that didn't happen with us.
No,
That I can speak to.
I've
we've
actually
the
never
same
had
rate.
that happen.
Right. We had the same rate in fact, we almost had a reduction in our rate last January, and we had one big claim at the end of the year that screwed us and kept us flat and even for the year before. So we are still at the same rate. We'll see what happens come this January. I know there's been quite a few claims this year. I'm interested to see how it's spread out and what it does to the rates. I'm hoping that we at least stay flat. I honestly don't know. We'll find out come January and see what happens. But no, I think that the optimism in this Freight Waves interview was actually pretty good, and I don't think it's false optimism. I think that there's a lot of data behind it, and I gotta say that I'm leaning towards believing what they're saying. It's just backed up by a bunch of solid data that makes sense. And it kind of coincides with what we've been seeing across the boards out here. At least what I've been seeing. Talking with some folks over, at my carrier, they're seeing an increase in volumes. They're seeing an uptick with some specific customers that they've got. So they're better than they expected. They actually started their turn last month. And we're very happy about that. And, a lot of our folks have seen that as well. I just said the freight market is for sure turning. It's just slower than predicted at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I think it just happened later in the year than we anticipated. But if you're looking at these rates right now, I believe the climb has started. Let's see what the next week or two does on that part of it on the rates. And I think we're going to see a steady incline from all predictors and looking at all the markers for it. I think it's looking pretty good.
Remember that in just about any market you look at, doesn't matter. increases are slow and steady over time. When the bottom falls out and there's a correction, the crash comes quickly and sporadically.
Let me throw this up on the screen for you, Jeff. I think you might have missed
So, no, I saw it.
that. Okay. Did you see the blue states?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. It's kind of impressive the way that things have started to flop.
Yeah. So there is a thing with changes in policy. Craig could be right. We'll see. Again, the tariff thing. I mean, what effect did it have in 2016? Very little. In reality, by the time you hit 2020, what really happened? You know, people want to blame things on presidents that aren't presidents' fault. COVID. We had COVID, guys.
That was definitely,
And the whole doggone country shut down. The borders closed. All that stuff. You want to know what caused that deep correction? It was COVID, man. That's what it was.
no, it was the Donald.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
And I can't help it.
you know, as human beings, it's hard, but you know, you got to at least try. Try to look at reality as reality. Take the emotion out as much as you can. You know,
That
you know, we have people we know that are always constantly, they're trying to do me bad. They, them, they, blah, blah, blah. You know, sometimes it's just the market, man.
you're right.
Sometimes it's because you're a jerk, man.
Me? What?
Yeah, I was looking right at you.
Gosh.
Sometimes, maybe sometimes, very rarely, is it someone actually trying to, I don't know, mess with you. Because the fact is that the people you think are messing with you, they don't give you a second thought, dude. You don't affect their day at all. So it's kind of a weird thing that we do to ourselves.
Right? Oh, it's focused at me for sure.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me. It's got to be me. I saw him looking at me on the TV. It was me he was talking to. It was definitely.
Did you get that code in last week's Life magazine?
Mhm. Thought we weren't allowed to talk about that.
You're assuming that this is real and not a simulation, Charlie.
What? Exactly. Ida said, I've done really well under some president. I got jokes already just on that part of the statement.
No.
And they turned around and lost a lot under the same president. Same for the hard. See,
Yeah.
Ida.
Yeah. Exactly, Ida. That's what that. So I'll say this: people give way too much credit to presidents.
Right?
The president of the United States is not in charge of your taxes, for instance. The president of the United States does not have the purse strings to the national treasury. Do you know who does?
You better stop talking.
Congress, man.
Stop speaking those lies.
I know it's terrible.
The president's fault every time.
Yeah. The president is the CEO. Congress is the board of directors. That's a good way to look at it.
Right?
So there you go. And I guess the Supreme Court, I don't know what they are, but we're the shareholders, every one of us. So
It's a thing.
there you go.
I had to. There you go, talking about him again.
Who? What? Oh, see, you just proved my point, Bear Hunter.
That's good times right there.
Well, people tend to blame whoever's in the office at the time for
Right.
whatever their woes are. Doesn't matter what it is. Which, you know, it's like we've always said. If you think that these people are actually going to help you, I think you're mistaken. You know, that's why we're so big on the self-reliance thing. You know, we don't do political action things like OIDA and NOAA. You want that sort of thing? Go join OIDA. You
Right.
know, they've got all those lawyers and they do the lobbying thing and you know, if you spend your money with them, hopefully they're actually doing something that you like. A lot of times they're not. I'm just saying, but
Right.
that's not who we are. We're not going to get involved in that part of things. We would much rather have you be self-sufficient, learn how to run a business, regardless of what those jackwagons in Washington do.
Like, it's funny because Jeff and I don't even talk politics directly to people one-on-one typically. He and I will
No.
talk politics amongst ourselves, even when we disagree. It's funny because, and then we still don't hate each other. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, if we actually absolutely have a diabolical opposition to the other's opinion, guess what? We're still friends.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, all these people on Facebook, I really wanted to go through. If you vote for this guy, just delete me now. If you vote for that guy, just delete me now. I want to just go through and delete all of them. And I didn't because I was lazy, but I should have just done it to everybody. Honestly, God. If you have to take
just clean the slate.
to that extreme, we can't be friends. Honest to God.
Yeah. I have one friend that unfriends me just about every election cycle and then sends me another friend request after he calms down.
Right. Me too.
I'm just like, whatever, man. I mean,
Right.
I don't hate you. You know that.
Hey,
So
Mark.
I'm gonna say that Charlie is the entire department on that one. Someone said that you were going to be Secretary of Defense.
I get to be the department.
I'm going to say you're the entire Joint Chiefs.
Oh gosh, that would
all in one. But then you have to get up, eat a crayon, then make fun of yourself for being in the Air Force.
That's okay. That could be fun. It would be like I could just let all the voices talk at the same time.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Right? And have a reason to do so. I'm just saying. Hey, Michael, good to see you, buddy. Oh my gosh. Jeff, Secretary of State. Yes. Have fun with that one, bro. I feel like my side is way easier. I don't have to be diplomatic. I have to be strategic.
True.
You have to be diplomatic. Ugh. It is more in your wheelhouse, though. Let's be real.
I suppose. But I play Warhammer. I'm just saying.
Ida, personal favorite. I'm so upset I'm shaving my head. Gosh, I want to help those people. I want to help those people. I've got like so many sets of clippers. Oh my gosh, you just don't even know. I could like do 2 at a time, maybe tie one to my foot, do 3. I don't know. I think we could do this. What could go wrong? It'll be fantastic. But no, I mean, still, I don't care who you blame it on. I don't care what side you say caused what or did this or did that. I don't care. I don't care. All I care about is the rates are on the climb. The contract market and the spot market are working on a convergence where they're coming together, and then they're going to split and cross here pretty soon. And that's fantastic. So, you know, I mean, there's going to be some just keep an eye on the market here over the next couple of weeks. I think you're going to be pleasantly pleased.
So here's my prediction on some of this. As things progress and the market keeps going up, I don't think we're going to see a bunch of new trucks being sold like we did last time.
Right.
Because I think there's so many people that got stung so hard and we all saw them. I think there's gonna be a lot of people are just like, yeah, it's looking good, but I saw what happened to those guys in 22.
Right. Yeah.
I
Look
ain't
at,
doing that. Oh, that works. Yeah.
I like it. That works perfect, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you stepping up like that, taking one for the team. Good job. No, I think you're right though. You look at the used truck market and it's plummeting right now because of the flood of trucks that finally getting, put back in that market. I like that. Oh, anyhow, how the hell did your day go, Jeff? You look more tired than I am.
It's a long one. It took them 8 hours to load me yesterday, so I'm running a full day behind.
Yeah, I was telling
And
everybody about that when I started.
and I still don't know if I'm supposed to deliver this load or if I'm supposed to take it up somewhere else and drop it in a
part is the
secure
yellow
yard.
story. That's the interesting part. Share that part of your story, Jeff.
Which part?
That
I don't know where I'm going?
ring.
So it was the shipper's fault, obviously, 8 hours to load. I mean, crazy talk. Supposed to be down there tomorrow morning at 0700. The fastest I could be there with hours of service and all that stuff is about 1400 tomorrow. So my carrier calls him up, says, well, the next appointment we have is in December. I'm like, well, I'm not waiting for December unless you get pay me like $800 a day to sit here,
Right.
And the lady's like, yeah, so just head that way. And once I notify them what storage fees are for that trailer between now and their next appointment, I think we'll probably get you an appointment Thursday morning.
Nice.
So yeah, this particular place also had a nice sign at the warehouse. We respect truckers and truckers' time. Our commitment is to have you in and out in 2 hours.
Yeah. That worked great.
Never believe those signs, guys. Never believe those signs. As a matter of fact, that's probably an indicator they have some customer service issues.
Right.
And yeah.
I just can't imagine someone telling me, oh, you're not going to be able to deliver till December. And we just started November.
Well, Target does that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Target does that, dude. If you're late on a Target load, they'll turn you away, and Swift will say, oh, go. The worst one is Pueblo, I think. Oh, go drop it in the yard in Denver because we have to set another appointment. It'll probably be a month.
Right.
What?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't you sue for false advertising, right?
Well, so Tim, it was in a foreign trade zone, so I couldn't take a picture of the sign without getting arrested. So
right.
There's no proof, right?
Damn those rules.
Gotta love foreign trade zones. It's up in Dallas. So they've got trucks coming in, the container trucks from Mexico, right? Come in, drop, then they unload whatever stuff they got, and then load it into our trailers going to whatever DC, right? And it's weird. Those foreign trade zones in the middle of, 450 miles from the border.
Right.
And they are secure, just like if you were down on the frickin' port entry.
One up in like Iowa one time or Indiana or something. I was like, what the hell? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So if you're one of those people that carries a firearm, beware of those places, y'all, because that's a federal installation. You can't carry in there, and if you get caught, you're gonna.
Oh yeah, they at the gate they actually had the big sign in accordance with such and such, federal all that federal code, whatever it is, and yeah.
Exactly. At least Walmart will take you. They charge you $5,000, but they'll take you.
Yep.
That's hilarious. What a racket that is.
Oh, so there were some two guys that were in line with me had it worse though. At least I got a dock. Yes, I said that, Charlie. At least I got a dock.
Right.
So I go up after like 6 hours. I'm like, come on. There's a sign saying don't come back till we call you. But I'm like, okay, 6 hours. This is ridiculous. So I go back up to the shipping office. Talk to these two guys right behind me, and they're like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, you have a dock, right? And a little bit of a language barrier going on.
What?
I'm thinking that he doesn't understand me. The next guy's like, oh no, he's right. They put us in yard spots. We don't have a dock yet, and their paperwork is checked live load. I mean, so at least I got a dock, right?
Right. It's
There's
crazy.
always something positive.
Well, there's kind of already a way to do that. Like former law enforcement stuff like that can do it, but that's a terrible permit. It's like way more restrictive than ones we have. I don't know. I don't know. I think states should have the right to pick what they want to do.
I think
I
that's
don't argue
definitely.
with that.
I think it's a state's issue. And one of the cool things about the United States is that if you don't like it, you can move to a state that is better suited to your
Right.
ideals.
Oregon to Florida
Understand.
was a good swap for me.
Yep. I like Utah much better than Oregon.
I chose not to run. I was offered a load to Connecticut Monday night. I'm like, there's no freaking way in hell I was going to take that load. And that was my response, but with stronger wording.
Yeah, but they know you there.
But he was thrown off by it. That was the thing. Steve's like, he had this pause in his voice, and he's like,
Well, wait, because it wasn't just Connecticut, was it? It was also followed up with another
no.
load that you would have done.
Well, yeah, after that.
Sort
then
of.
he said,
that one was done, and the next day you could have
how
taken
about
this other one.
Denton? And I'm like, now I'm already in no mood, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that either, man. I gotta go home, do the show. I got things to do tomorrow, things to do Wednesday, and so yeah,
Really big shoe.
all right, really big shoe, really big shoe. Oh my gosh,
You will do it, Charlie.
I would do it all week this week. Hint, hint, Ida. If you get anything like that, I'm just saying. But I won't be back till Thursday.
Right on.
I had a decent week considering the way that it fell apart on the first day. Flat tire. That sucked. Got a flat driving from the office to my trailer.
Really?
Like, had just checked tires. They were all good. Go over there. I'm hooking up to the trailer. By the time I did my, hook in and all that stuff and my little initial walk around and I'm thumping tires, I go down the driver's side, come around the back, check the seal, basic lights, mud flaps, come down the passenger side, thump, 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 thud. What? Dang it. Thud. I don't like thud. Big old screw. And it was still sticking out of the tire in the face of the tire about that far, about 1/4 of an inch. I was like, man. So I ended up losing my, 900-mile load for that night and instead had to run down to Cape Coral. And it was the last time we were running Huntsville. It was the last Huntsville load basically until early December. So that was a bummer. Well, whatever. I don't know. Hey, Jeff, 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. That was weird. What's the conspiracy, folks? What's he doing? Yeah, Craig, you're probably right about that too. Let's see. Since I came in late, I wonder if I missed anything up here. I know that Craig was first. I got that from Charlie earlier. Jimmy, you guys have been doing really good on the comments today. Look at that. Matt Nissen on the replay. Okay. No.
I like when you sing.
Do you?
I had to blow my nose. I was about to start dripping like a 4-year-old teething. It was weird. Just out of nowhere, just bam. Oh, crap. I forgot to close my door.
If it's not one thing, it's another with this guy. Holy cow, man.
For real. God, what's wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm trying to do a thing here, Charlie.
Pee bottle time. That's funny. What are you trying to do?
We need
We do.
membership questions.
Whoa, you just took me to a completely different place, man.
I know. We need to change the Road Warrior Entrepreneur Meet and Greet to let people in now.
Right.
Now that we've got our school community all set up and everything, and we're ready for that, we're going to open up. We're going to open up the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs private community, which is different than the Contractors Corner Swift one. This is not going to be Swift centric. This is more of our general coaching and things. If you want to see what we're actually doing in there, it's not going to be free. Are you ready, Charlie?
Oh my God.
It's going to cost you
$1
email
million. Oh, how much?
your email address.
Oh my gosh.
Your best email address is what we're going to ask to get into that group. Doesn't matter what carrier you're in. Doesn't matter if you're a company driver, owner, operator, independent. What you call yourself does not matter to us. Where you got your truck, the only reason we care about that at all is it profitable? Don't care if you lease it. Don't care if you pay cash. Don't care if you got a loan for it.
My pronouns are helicopter.
Right.
Sticking to that.
Mine are still H and K.
There you go.
So we're going to be opening that up in the next few days. Give us some time because you know us in technology. And that's where you're going to see all the primers for what we're doing in the paid group. So you get a little taste of what we're doing and decide if you want to join that sucker. What are you doing? Why? What?
That's way too far away to even think about.
Why are you New Year's Eve? I don't care about New Year's Eve. Do you care about New Year's Eve? I don't care.
It's so far away. I can't even think that far.
But it does lead me into what I was going to say. So get into that group. Just give us your email address and we'll let you into that one. That's on Facebook's. And then, check out what we're doing. You'll see my Mindset Monday stuff. Charlie's got a couple of videos up there. And if you want to join the actual paid community, there'll be a link in there to do that. And we're already starting the primer for our January class, which is going to be taught by Mr. Josh Hall. Charlie, take it from there.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing, bro. My brain is broken.
We just talked about it.
I know, but then where's Wimpy? It's 6 weeks away. I'm like, I can't even think about what tomorrow is, bro, let alone 6 weeks from today. Oh my gosh, I know. What? Want to fight? Let's fight.
So in the school platform, in our school community, and that's what that one's going to cost you is the $47 a month or $497 a year, depending on how you want to go about it. I don't put that up yet. They're going to need to go to the Facebook group first.
Well, I know.
Get information on signing that up.
Maybe they want to go right to the paid community. That's how they could do that.
So,
don't you? I'll shut up now.
There. Now you'll understand. Okay. So what we got going right now is we just did our first Zoom call last Saturday, and this month's Zoom call and next month's Zoom call with me, and the one that we're going to do with Josh is a primer for some pretty awesome training that he's going to be doing in January. And what that's going to be is the best year ever training. And that one there, he offered to do it, so I'm not going to say no. That one there is one of those high dollar, high ticket items, and he's going to do it for our group for the regular subscription price that people are paying. So it normally goes for, what do you say, Charlie, 1980 something?
Yeah, 97.
It was in a text. It was in a text that he sent us, 1997, to go through that course, and he's going to do it for our group as part of what he's doing for us. So again, we're starting with the primers now. This is, if those of you guys haven't done training like this before, and let's be real, Charlie, unless you've been like in white collar or in retail sales or something like that, you probably haven't, unless you're just into this stuff like crazy people like me, I guess. I'll like sit and read a book about this stuff all day long. Anyway, people actually really do pay $2,000 to go to training like this.
Yep.
I remember there was a Zig Ziglar thing that I went to years ago that was something around $1,800 for a day. It's just stuff you do if you really want to get to that next level. But you have to be prepared for the training ahead of time. It's not something that you just listen to while you're driving down the road, be bopping down the road and like, yeah, that sounded okay. And then never do anything with it.
Right.
Potentially, the best thing that could happen is it could actually absolutely just change your life.
Right.
Stuff like this. Just ask Charlie. I finally made him do some stuff. Like literally, I was over there at his house. He doesn't remember this. I was at his house with his arm behind his back. He was saying uncle, and he finally did it, and there was a change. So go check out the Facebook page first, if you would, the private community on the Facebooks, and you will see
in the chat.
And you will see what we're doing in there. Just give us your email address, and we'll let you in. And yes, of course, there's a price to everything. Well, everything that's worthwhile anyway, right?
Jay from Tech, have you gotten any loads, 1,500 to 2,000 mile loads lately? I haven't in months. Yeah, there's a bunch on the load board right now, actually.
Yeah, someone just posted there's one from like California to Jersey or something like that.
Tim's running from Cali to Florida.
Yeah.
On an Amazon load right now, or tomorrow morning or something like that. So yeah, there's quite a few out there.
But
on the rise.
Consider this. Would you rather, Charlie, as a solo driver at Swift, do one 2,000 mile load in a week? Or do 6 500 mile loads back to back to back?
500s.
Yep. You get paid more. So don't discount those short loads, guys. Especially right now, from what we're hearing from our Swift people that are on the inside, like Charlie's on the inside, but we're talking inside. The way their business is going right now, seriously, take what they're giving you. You're not, it's going to hurt your brain more than anything. But, they got these 200-300 mile loads, right? Do them. Help them out. Give them a break. You're going to make a little more money on the mileage, okay, whatever. But those planners, 200 miles, you're still in their freaking planning area at that point. You haven't left their market. So you help them out, and maybe you ended up with one of those 1,500 mile loads, right? Or you do like I used to do and actually call them and say, hey, man,
Crazy talk.
I don't mind doing your 200-mile BS. And depending on who it was, I would use different language, of course. But hey, man, what else you got after that? I know that you need this thing done. I get it. But what do you got after that? Well, let me see. And, some of the best ones cost me maybe 2 of those 300-mile loads for a true transcontinental load, usually out of Pennsylvania going all the way to like Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
They just need their little stupid stuff done that nobody wants to do, and then they'll hook you up if you've built the relationship.
Right.
Yeah, I don't particularly like dealing with people like shippers and receivers, but it is part of the job. I'm 100%. I'm pretty close to 100% live loads, unloads where I'm at now, and there are days, Charlie, where the old steering wheel has a crisis of identity and thinks it might be a punching bag for a while.
Right.
You'll never hear me yelling at a customer, though. Won't happen. I will go out and work out my frustration elsewhere. I mean, it's just good business, right?
Right. Salt Lake is gorgeous in the winter.
As long as you're not moving.
Right. That's where I was going to go with that.
I live there, right? Look, it is beautiful.
Great flying over it on your way to Hawaii.
It's beautiful from my front living room where I have the picture window while I'm reading a book and saying, oh, look at that. Until the power goes out, then that's another thing entirely. But because it turns out that it costs a lot of money to put a battery backup in the house and on top of the solar. So, yeah, they don't tell you that either.
Turkey Tim said, I don't mind those 6 loads of 500 miles so long as they're dropping hook. Otherwise, one long delay ruins the rest of the week. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I did one for the guys up there in Pennsylvania. What's that terminal?
Jonestown?
Yeah, Jonestown. Glidden Paint. Take an empty trailer down to the factory, bring a loaded trailer back up. I think the turn was 280 miles, full turn. And I did 4 of those for them because I just needed it done. And I literally got a load from Pennsylvania all the way back home to Oregon. Boom. Here you go. Thank you.
Yep.
Now, admittedly, that was years ago. And that I think that this was still, remember, Charlie, at Swift, when if you didn't do 6,000 miles a month, you got fired?
Right?
You remember that? Yeah. Yeah, I think that was that long ago.
Yeah, that's been a minute for sure. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Craig said he misses the folks up in Jonestown.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I have terminals I don't like. You have terminals you don't like. And it's weird when you hear someone mention one of your favorite terminals. You're like, those bastages.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're the greatest people. And then they're talking about, I don't know, Gary, Indiana, like it's the best thing ever. And I'm like, we're going to have words over that.
Right.
But it's different, right? You have different people have different experiences at the very same places.
No doubt. Sorry, still going through chat. Jake from Tech said, yeah, in 2016, I ran LA to East Coast and back every week. Now just bounce the East Coast, right? See there, look, there you go. Gary is horrid. And yet we hear people all the time, they're like, I love it. They're awesome. And I'm like, what? I don't even know how to. I didn't want to go into that town, let alone that terminal.
Yeah, I went in there to drop a T-call one time when they had the actual off-ramp going there. Was under construction. So you got to go through the hoodie hood.
Right.
And when I say the hoodie hood, I'm not kidding. Boarded up bars with people standing outside them. All that. It's like you see on TV, man. Ugh.
It is. So it seems to be human nature. You tend to latch on to the negative, and that's actually something I've been trying to break in, because I believe it's habit, right? Because the negative seems to have way more impact on you than it should,
Right.
right? So I think it's a perspective thing. But it, it's funny because, like they say, without the bad, the good is meaningless, right? And without the good, you wouldn't know the bad. The good would just be, whatever, right? I don't know, man. It's a trip. But I've been trying to break that cycle and stop focusing so much on the negative and find positive within reason, of course, right? I mean, you can't just be everything's rosy and it's all fine, right? Try to learn from the bad, because I think most bad situations, there's something to learn. I'm just not always positive what it is. Sometimes I struggle to figure out what the lesson is. Yeah, Gary, Indiana. But Lewiston.
Does Lewiston still have fuel prices on the fuel price list?
Probably.
Because that they locked those pumps up like 2 years ago.
Right. It's hilarious.
I actually asked Brett about it. He's like, "Oh, I don't know, man." I'm like, "Well, now I'm paying way too much for fuel because I went off of what the
it is, as a matter of fact, 4.251.
Really? How do they have that price there when they're not selling fuel there?
Amazing, right? Yeah, it hurts my brain, upsets me a bit, because I see that. I'm like, oh, I better swing. Maybe they got their stuff working now. And you get there and you're like, oh, now I'm trapped here. So I've just removed those out of my brain. I just don't add that into my shopping, which is really unfortunate. Because I mean, Ocala, you never know if Ocala's working. And sometimes they have a pretty good fuel price. But you drive all the way there, you pass 3 stops to get to it that were decent enough, only to find out the pumps aren't working today. They'll be fine tomorrow, but I'm 1,000 miles away now.
Yeah.
I
don't get it, man.
Fuel price is still listed, and those pumps have been destroyed for I don't know how long, because they're rebuilding the entire fuel island.
Oh, are they finally actually doing it?
Oh yeah, they started, gosh, months ago, maybe 6 months ago. They ripped all the pumps out. We're putting in all new equipment. The whole island is being redone, but I don't know when they're going to be done with it. It's weird.
So Trucker Tim, I mean, how long does it take to replace fuel pumps? I actually have an answer to that. It depends on whether or not the inspector likes your company or not. That's the answer to that one.
Right.
Man, if you've ever done like remodels on a house, Charlie, you've never done remodels, and had the county inspector come out, you think that's bad? You deal with freaking gas station equipment
and the EPA
and all that stuff. Holy cow, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's always fun too, Kathy. You start the pump, get 2.5 gallons, and it shuts off. Oh my gosh! And then you got to go push all those dang buttons again. Would the bank finance a truck or lease if given the chance? Their lenders are real sketchy on the trucking market. Right now.
You skipped a word. Would you finance a truck or lease if given a chance?
Oh, gotcha. My bad. See, I told you. Eyeballs.
That's what I'm here for.
Today. I appreciate it. I think you would have trouble bank financing for starters. I mean, if you can swing it, absolutely. I think the finance is typically better than most leases. I mean, it's just a better deal. I mean, Jeff and I are actually talking about this the other day. When I bought Chewy, I financed it through an actual finance company, and instead of $600 a week for a truck payment, I had a $880 monthly payment. and at the end it was all done. I think it was 3 or 4 years. Can't remember what the term was. But
Now, keep in mind that was on a used truck.
right. It was a $42,000 truck that I put $11,000 down on. But first time financing in the trucking industry, that was actually pretty good terms, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rate was somewhere around 8 to 10 or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. And again, first time financing, had only been contracting for a year at that point. So, I mean, considering that the history, I had really good terms, but we're also talking about what, 2010?
Right.
Something like that. I mean, yeah, totally different thing. Yeah, James, Lancaster was 55 gallons. Oh my gosh, I hate when the pumps start doing that crap. Another reason that I avoid terminal pumps. I'm just saying. Hand out the Benjamin Franklin, you'll have a lot better results, right? Yeah, Mike, you're dead on here. Way too many trucking bankruptcies. Banks don't like to touch trucking. Was it last week or the week before? We were talking about a report that came out, and they were talking about how they just are not lending to the trucking industry right now because it's such a sketchy market for them to put money into. I mean, they're absolutely terrified of it. Excuse me. And I mean, so good luck if you can get the financing. Power to you. Do something. For a lot of folks, I don't think that's going to be an option, especially starting out. I mean, ideally, maybe you could go out and pay cash, save up a nest egg while the market's plummeting, catch the bottom of that used truck market and pick up a decent used truck. I think the prices are still going to drop for a little while. So yeah. Whereas Wimpy, I get loan offers every day in my email. Like I get a ton of loan offers, but I also know that they're not going to go through.
Yeah. Not for this.
Right. It's funny. And it's funny because they're like, oh, we love the trucking industry. And I'm like, okay, just for fun. What do you give me? They're like, not a thing, bro. Well, if you put 75% down.
Right.
Man. It's funny. Or the cost for the money is 18, 19%.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Hey, you got to look at it. That's one of the things that we discuss quite often is the cost of money.
Jeff Rose, screenshot.
Did your purchase truck cost you whoever? What's the total that you spent from start to finish?
Right.
On that truck. And if you want to do it right, you need to do it over at least 1 million miles on that truck. Right? It's pretty wild when you get down into the nitty-gritty finances.
Like Brian just said here, you got to prove it to purchase a dry van trailer, but the down payment was going to need to be 30%.
Right.
A lot of people can't swing that. I mean, talk about it what you will, but a lot of people can't swing that right now. With the 2 years we've had, it's been rough for a lot of folks out there, especially those that are, out there running their own freight and the spots and everything else. I mean, there's been some good times and bad times, but most people were taking what little bit they got in the good times to make up for the bad time and weren't even able to save up because they were still catching up from the last slump, right? So, I mean, it's been hard to get ahead the last 2 years and to stay ahead. That's been the thing. You could get ahead, but staying ahead seemed to be the big trick from a lot of people that, you and I talk to on a regular basis. It's, I don't know, man, cash is king, but trying to get that cash in hand, depending on what kind of contract you're on or what kind of customers you're pulling for, speaking from my side of the world and at Omega, I mean, their customers are insane. Their customers are absolutely insane and have some of the craziest negotiations that I've ever heard of.
Right.
You know, oh, you may be picking up a load in California, but you're only driving, 2% of the load length in California. So we don't want to pay you California fuel rates on top of that. So we figure you're going to drive the most in the single state of Texas. So we're going to give you Texas fuel prices to cover the entire load, even though it's going up in the, the Northeast. Right.
Right.
And coming out of California and hitting all those expensive states along the way. Man, and maybe they decide, oh, we're only going to pay 22 cents for fuel. But the average cost, right? But the average cost may be 79 cents, depending on the lane you're running in. So I mean, it's crazy. And they absolutely are dictating the market. In that report they were talking about, if you're a shipper, now might be the time for you to start making some long-term contracts right now, because you're not going to be in the position you think you're in now in a year or two. So you may want to lock in some long-term contracts now at lesser rates until it all flips, because it's flipping right now.
Yeah.
And you got customers, that maybe they decided, well, we have a 2-year contract, but every 2 months we want to reserve the option to renegotiate. Right. And the carriers are like, God, okay, whatever. And oh man, it just seems so one-sided. The carrier doesn't get to flip it, but the shipper does. The carrier's locked in for 2 years, right? Period. They're like, oh man, I hope fuel doesn't go up. Which it always does. Although, yeah, this week it dropped again.
Only by a penny.
Drop. Yeah. A penny and a half. National average.
So Wimpy, the thing is that we're talking about big boy business credit and not consumer credit. That is not going to help you buy a truck. It's not. Also, just a point of fact for you there, since you wanted to go over this. If you really want to build your personal credit score, never carry more than 1/3 of your total credit limit as a balance forward.
Right.
Ever. Never do that. That is the sweet spot for the FICO score.
Yep.
Is that you're constantly borrowing 33% and paying it off. 33% paying it off. 33% paying it off. That's the magic formula for FICA, and everybody knows that. Just saying. I'm in a mood. It might be time for us to quit, bro.
Oh man. It's kind of an interesting statement. For everyone who wants percentage rates, fuel rebates. Good Lord, my lips are not attached to my brain. Fuel rebates become variable when you go percentage. Sometimes there's no fuel rebate at all. Yeah. No argument here. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I know where this is coming from. There's all the rumors surrounding Swift going to percentage or whatever. First of all, don't listen to the rumors. Wait for them to come out with an offer. There will be an offer sometime early next year. And that's what we're going to say about that on the show. When Kim McBee and those guys want to come on and explain it, we will absolutely invite them on to explain what their deal is going to be. But please, folks, stop trying to figure out what's up their sleeve. You don't know what's up their sleeve. You don't know. I mean, what we've learned at the last couple of weeks, I can say this much. It is convoluted AF what they have to do to change the doggone pay package at Swift.
Right.
It's got to go, Kim McBee, we just let him into the private group. We voted on it. So everybody knows we voted on it, and the vote was overwhelming to let the man in. And he is 100% trying to make things better for contractors at Swift Transportation. I believe that. I've seen him in action, and he doesn't have much hair left, Charlie. He's pulling it out, trying to get this pay package stuff done by next year. so that he can give more options to contractors, right? But I'm going to tell you, wait for the offer to come. When it comes, read the contract and make your choice. If you're a contractor,
letting that group was won by 84%. Just saying.
Yep.
To 15%.
Bigger landslide. That was a bigger landslide than the presidential election.
Right.
Trucker Tim, I would encourage you to look at it again. I'm just going to put that out there. I think if you don't look at it at all, if you say you have no interest in percentage pay, I think you're leaving money on the table over about a 10, 15-year period. And if you have the opportunity to keep an eye on the market and maybe once a year select your pay package, just saying, maybe you keep an eye on that and see which direction it's going. And maybe you stop leaving that money on the table. People that were on percentage when rates tanked, they left money on the table compared to us that are on mileage contracts. So.
And that will be key, Craig.
Read the contract.
See what their offer is, like Jeff says. See what the offer is. Sit down. We're all going to be talking about it, about what the numbers are, what they mean, how they could play, and everything else. There's going to be a lot of discussion around it. Just wait for the offer to come out. Stop speculating. Stop guessing. Stop saying, oh, it has to be this or it's no deal. Stop.
I got to call Wimpy out again. That is absolutely not true, Wimpy. What they look at is cash flow of your business when you're looking for a $100,000 truck. If you would like to know more, check out our podcast that we did with Trucker CFO, 2 months ago, where we actually talk about how to get, use, and manage business credit. It is completely different than consumer credit. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, you go right over here to podwheels.com/category/RWE, and you'll find that one where we actually talked about the use of business credit, how to establish it, and what it means. It was a good podcast, I thought. We did that with Colton Lawrence. That was a fun one.
I actually thought that was one of our better ones we've done so far.
I enjoyed that.
Because full disclosure, Mr. Wimpy, I used to think the way you did until I looked into it more. I educated myself. Show me a truck with less than 10%. There isn't one right now. There isn't. Rates right now on Class 8 trucks are anywhere from 12 to 20%. So there you go. You're not wrong, but you're not calling anybody out here. We already know that. Until you read your contract, Wimpy, read your contract on that doggone credit card. If you miss one payment, they're charging you all that interest. That's a standard credit card contract.
I enjoy you, sir.
Yay. How you doing, man?
Look,
we're both tired. We're angry today.
Gosh, like this could go terribly wrong really fast. It's great. It would just the right buttons.
And Wimpy just won't stop. He just won't stop. He's egging us on.
Thanks, Craig, for posting in the chat. You can click on that link, go see that podcast we were talking, or listen to that podcast we were talking about. I actually think it was a good one. But yes, Ida, we do need naps. Oh my God, I did not get one today. Right? Grumpy old man, color me surprised.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
I'll claim it today, man. It ain't no joke.
Oh.
It has been one of those days. And I didn't even work. Like, I was home all day today.
I was not.
Right. I got home late last night and knew that I couldn't go to sleep right away. I was tired, but I knew that if I laid down, I wouldn't go to sleep. So I screwed around the computer for a couple hours and then went to sleep. And I actually did sleep pretty hard, but it was only like, 4 hours. Right. And then I'm up. I wanted to see the grandkids before they went to school and all that. And it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Well, we know Narc voted for Biden because, he loves Biden. I've seen the Biden bobblehead. Let's just be real. But that's okay. I'm just glad he voted.
That's
I don't
right.
care who you voted for. Everybody knows that, but it's funny.
As long as you vote, you get to complain.
Exactly.
Never lose the right to complain.
Want me to handle Wimpy for you? Yeah. No, we're good, man. It's all good. It's funny. He just
That's the game is to try and figure out which profile he's using today.
right. I'm still not convinced which one is which right now. I feel like that's the account, but I don't know. It could be someone else for all I know. But I think 1666 was definitely the Wimpy McBoat one. I'm just saying, man of a million excuses. This one could be. Where is Wimpy? I'm just saying it could be. It's possible. It's fun. Weekly, he comes in. The funny thing is he typically comes in, and you can tell it's him based on the comments he posts and the way he builds the comments. Like it's like hearing someone's voice, right?
Right.
Over time, you learn their voice, and you don't have to see him. You hear him, you're like, oh, that's Jeff, right? It's the same way with the text chat. It's funny.
What?
I
had seriously?
I got to explain to a driver today why the government takes text. That is fantastic. Good times indeed.
Wow. Okay. Did you hear about the recall of Costco butter?
No.
Today? 80,000 tons of butter were recalled. You know why? Because the packaging did not say that it contained milk. The FDA caught it and they recalled all that butter. That's the world we live in, Charlie, where people don't know that real butter, comes from cow's milk.
I like making my own butter.
And the thing I read about it, it was listed as a immediate danger because it wasn't labeled properly.
Because you got those lactose intolerant folks.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that you should know that real butter, if it's labeled real butter, it's probably not for you if you're lactose intolerant.
I don't even get it, man. It's freaking weird.
But better than that were the comments in the comment section.
Oh, I bet.
The comments were all like, that's ridiculous, this, that. And, I had to respond to some of them because why not? And my most common response to someone's comment was that, look, I get it. It used to be common knowledge. But apparently in this day and age, people literally do not know the difference between butter and country crock. They think it's the same.
This is what I'm saying, Ida. Do away with all the warning labels and let nature sort it out.
Well, I'm telling you, man.
Don't like the picture of pouring the hot coffee in your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Caution, contents may be hot. You ordered hot coffee. What? Nicotine might hurt you. What? Huh? Candy might give you diabetes. What?
Mm.
Hey, Mike, how the heck are you, man? Been a minute, bro.
Yeah.
We should catch up soon. Like, for real. God, it's been a minute for real. Real butter doesn't need refrigeration, right?
That is true. Although I do like it a little more solid than it does at room temperature.
Yeah, I like making butter. It's a fun process.
What else doesn't?
I don't do that old slow turn crap. No. I use a mixer.
You know what else doesn't need refrigeration until you wash it off? Eggs.
Right? It's weird.
A lot of people don't know that. We got, Donna, how many dozen duck eggs do we have just sitting on the counter? I mean, we've got them stacked, and then we wash them off, and then about a dozen at a time and put them in the fridge.
Right?
Yeah.
No, see, I like unsalted butter, Chris. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I put it in my coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if my butter had no milk, right? That's not even butter then, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's something else then. Oh. Yep. The slime preserves them. That's a good way to put it. That doesn't turn
Yeah.
anybody off, but it's true.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, duck eggs. We've got ducks that lay, and the duck eggs are twice the size of a chicken egg. So yeah, we just keep them on the counter until we're ready to use them. Then we wash them off, like I say, about a dozen at a time, and put them in the fridge once they're washed off. And definitely wash them off, though. Please do not just crack an egg.
Right?
Yeah, wash them before you crack them open, please.
Whatever. Little duck butt in your omelet. That's nothing wrong.
Yeah, okay.
I had one chicken, dude, for the longest time. I don't know what the hell was wrong with that chicken, but that chicken, she was broken.
I bet she was.
Because like horrible things were on her eggs every day. Like every day.
Wow.
One chicken. I was like, man. We actually gave her away. She got put into a chicken stew pot, just saying. Along with all the roosters that we hatched. That was funny. So I tried to hatch a bunch of eggs from our chickens one time, threw them all in an incubator, right? Collected, a whole day's egg laying, put them all in the incubator, and we got like 90% roosters.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was like, okay, maybe half and half. No, 90%.
Take them over to Alabama and sell them.
Or
saying.
Okay. So I had these guys from the Knights of Columbus, right? One of the local organization up there in Astoria. They came over and they would take them. I'd call them up though. I'm like, man, I got a bunch of crazy roosters. They're like, we're on our way.
Really?
Yeah. And they cooked them up, man.
And
fed people. I'm like, great.
Interesting.
I still to this day don't know how to process a chicken right. I mean, I've seen it done, but I've never done it. But I really want to learn. Like
you're right. You're running out of time to learn that stuff, Charlie. I'm just saying.
I know, dude. Up there in Oregon, in Astoria, when I was up there, right, I had a lot of chickens, and I wanted to raise a bunch of meat chickens. And I put out all over, forums and all this other stuff. I'm like, I will give you, 50, 100 chickens, my entire flock of meat chickens for the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be there when you process. I said, I will feed them, raise them, get them ready for slaughter.
Will you call them George?
Right. And I could not get a single taker to teach me how to do it.
Really?
Like had all the equipment, everything right. They just needed to show up. Walk me through the first couple. I would have gave them the entire thing. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me to teach me something that, they could probably teach me in 10 minutes. Right?
Right.
But I'm one of those guys. I need to see it firsthand, be guided through it, maybe, right? Like cut here, do this, do that, right? And then I would have been good. And I was willing to give them the entire flock. I ruined a pig one day because I tried to get a guy. I offered a guy three hogs to teach me how to butcher one.
There you go. Ida will come over and teach you.
Look at that. Ida, we need to hang out. Chris, that's actually one of the things I would love to do out on the property. Just saying. No. That's like a thing we really want to do. Like legit. I mean, I actually need 5 cows. There's a magic number apparently in my county that I'm not supposed to know because they don't say the number, but I learned through one of the code guys because he went to my neighbor's house to get his agricultural exemption on his property tax, and he only had 4 cows. And the appraiser guy's like, well, where's your 5th cow? He's like, I've only got 4. He's like, you mean your 5th is down at the neighbor's house being bred, right? Yes. Okay. So we learned that 5 cows out in that area is the magic number on a 5 acre plot. So, okay, 5 cows. Makes sense to me. I want 3 or 4 cows and 1 or 2 steers. That's what I would like. And a couple of pigs. I'm really good at raising pigs. Like, I can raise the hell out of pigs, like for real. Like I had some pretty good luck for a while. I had one pig though that was completely psycho, and she went around and killed 3 litters worth of piglets in 2 nights. 3 litters. She was crazy. Killed her own and went after the other 2 sows and killed all but 2 piglets out of 3 litters. It was the most horrific thing you ever saw. It was terrible to see. My son was not impressed by that because he had to go clean up that mess because I was on the road. Go figure. Good God. But those 2 piglets, you should have seen them things. It was actually 2 male pigs. And when they were like literally only like this long, they looked like full-blown market hogs with the jowls, and they were just stout and fat and burly, and they were gnarly, man. I ended up giving them all away, but it was funny. They because they had no competition for the milk. And the mama went crazy protective to save those last 2, and it was something else. But anyhow, it was something. But yeah, I offered 3 hogs to teach me how to process one, and couldn't get. I had a guy right across the street, one of the best hog guys in the county, known for it. In fact, one of the best hog guys in Oregon, and he had his own damn butcher room with a full walk-in freezer, the whole 9 yards. Wouldn't teach me. And then one day he wanted to buy piglets from me. I'm like, that's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
I may have gotten back at him that way because he couldn't get piglets anywhere else at that time, and it was hilarious. Oh, that was good.
So
we ended up talking.
Chris Hamilton, yes, duck eggs do taste different. I'm going to disagree with Donna a little bit. I don't think it's a lot different, but they are different. The yolk is bigger. It's a richer flavor. They actually almost taste buttery without even putting any butter in them. So yeah, I like them. Yeah, like with anything, when you're used to something though, if you're used to the store-bought duck egg or the store-bought chicken egg, duck eggs are pretty different. But so is backyard chicken eggs, right? Or when we had chickens in Oregon, it tasted different than store-bought chicken eggs. I liked them better. So,
hey, Mike Campbell, I'm looking to come back to Swift Lease and wondered what your thoughts are for someone who is left and wants to come back. I've been out for 2 years now and want to go back trucking. So you've been out of trucking for 2 years. They may make you be a company guy for a short period of time. I'm not sure what the requirements are. Right
so now. I have a friend that just went through this.
Oh, good.
He was 4 years out of truck driving, but drove a school bus. And Swift wanted him to go back through a mentorship because it had been so long since he'd been behind the wheel of a Class 8.
Right.
And then they wanted him to drive another year before he could become an owner-operator. And, one of my Army buddies, right? And you know how those guys are. I ain't doing that. So he ended up with some fly-by-night mom and pop that's he's got issues with.
No,
like, man, why didn't you just go? Well, they were gonna make okay, but dude, you would have been done with all of that like a year ago. And so I would say if you want to come back to trucking, you want to come back to Swift, just prepare for that. But hey, man, it's only what is the mentorship nowadays? I don't even know.
I think it's 200 hours.
Is it still 200 hours?
I think it's 200
So
hours.
If you're a guy with experience and you get a mentor like me or Charlie was,
it's
only
going to
take it like 3 weeks with the guy,
right?
And then you get sent on your merry way. And then if you want to be an owner operator, you go through that process with, I would say, Michelle Cantrell.
Yep.
Get the ball rolling as soon as you can get it rolling and get out there.
Oh, you know what? She's right. It may only be the 50 hours, depending on how long he's been out.
Yeah, I had a couple of those guys too. I don't know. I haven't mentored in so long. I just really don't have my finger on the pulse of what that program is these days.
No, Mike. They're not going to make you go back to like the CDL school. They're just going to make you train with a trainer on the road.
Yeah, so you go out with the guy for a few weeks. Make sure you're not going to kill anybody.
Right.
Basically.
a Swift Mentor. I did that when I came back because I drove in 04 for a bit and then left and then came back to trucking in 08, and I had to go back then. It was 42 days.
Yeah, and you were a jerk about it too.
Oh, absolutely. But that guy made money off me, I can tell you that. He killed it. He was very happy with me, so because he made all kinds of damn money. He was a moron, but he made all kinds of damn money.
Doesn't James live in Mexico?
Right?
James, you're trying to talk your wife into chickens?
Chickens are easy, man.
Yeah, they're like the easiest one. Well, once you get them grown, they're kind of little pains in the butt when they're chicks, and you definitely want to get them while they're chicks. Don't try, yeah. If you try and get a brood going that's all grown, they'll just kill each other. You want them to grow up together.
Mike, that was my problem, man. I swore I'm done with this trucking BS. I'm never going to do it. And I missed it every minute. It took me about 3 months, right? And then oh man, did a couple years where I was Mr. Mom at home. And that's when I started raising chickens and goats and pigs. And Rosie's like, you need to get out.
You really shouldn't talk about your kids like that.
Right. But I love them. They make funny noises. But yeah, Rose was like, you need to go back to work. And I was like, yes, I'm going back to trucking. And I went to Swift, specifically to Swift. It was funny too, because I put my application online and it couldn't have been 15 minutes and I was already getting a phone call. Yeah. And was set up for orientation the following week. It was hilarious. But I mean, we're also talking about back in 08. And then I had to go do 42 days of training and another bus ride. I had to ride the bus from Portland down to Lathrop. What a miserable ride that was. It wasn't as bad as the first ride in the trucking because I had to go from Tampa to Dallas. That was absolutely horrid. And then from Dallas, I had to go up to Illinois. Ugh. But whatever. Greyhound. Don't like it ever. I just got a great story about the Greyhound on our way back from a trucking company. And she stopped in New Orleans. And she thought, oh, this will be fantastic. I'm going to walk around New Orleans for a couple hours. Walked out of the bus station and went, nope, going right back in.
There you go.
Yeah, even I just said, look, I miss it sometimes. Mike, you're welcome, buddy. Yeah, I went back to marketing work and hate sitting in front of a computer. I definitely miss the freedom of the road and seeing different places. Yeah, it's a big thing. I get it. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just said if your experience is normally only 50 hours. I think it depends on how long that experience lapse is, though. So I'm not sure. James said, I'm thinking game birds caught. Huh? You confuse me some days, bro. Just say.
Who, what now?
James. This statement.
Oh, I got it. It's going to do a thing.
Jeff's doing a thing.
If you guys would actually share your stuff that you do on the shared drive like I've asked you to.
You know what? You're kind of a big crybaby. Yeah, I made a mistake one time. Donna said chickens are super easy and cute as chicks. So I made a mistake one time. I had a very well-established flock of chickens, and I thought, I'm going to double it. And I bought another 25 chicks, and it was about 15 minutes, and all those chicks were dead. Like, we introduced them. We had them in a pen next to the big girls, and, they were like, seemed okay next to each other for a few days. And when we let the chicks into the big pen, it was a slaughter, bro. It was a horror story. Hey, Brian, you have a good night, buddy. He said he's got a 4 a.m. delivery. It's bedtime. Have a good night. You be careful, man. Good to see you. Glad you were here. Thanks for popping in, man. Whereas Wimpy said, did you change the oil yet, Jeff, in the Western Star oil sample yet?
What's that?
Whereas Wimpy said, did you change the oil yet in the Western Star oil sample yet?
No, it's a rental. It's not my truck.
Yeah, it doesn't have the bypass on it.
And the last service it had was not even 20,000 miles ago. So,
Mike, the we actually talked about rates earlier on as far as the market goes. As far as the Swift rates themselves, you'd really need to talk and call and talk to one of the recruiters. I would reach out to Michelle Cantrell out of Greer. Call the Greer terminal, Mike, and ask to speak to Michelle and tell her what you're wanting to do and make that your first step. She will let you know whether or not you need to go company or not. And if you do, then whatever. And if you don't, then great. You're already hooked up with the right person. Absolutely do not talk to Margaret in Memphis. Yep, said that out loud in public. Don't even care. Talk to Michelle Cantrell out of Greer, South Carolina. Look up Swift Transportation, Greer, South Carolina. Call that number and ask to speak to Michelle Cantrell. Cantrell. Just saying. She will give you the real deal info, what you know, and tell her that Jeff and Charlie said you should call them, because that's always fun. And you will hear her roll her eyes over the phone. It'll be fantastic.
absolutely.
Good. You got her number. Awesome. Perfect. That's the one to talk to, Mike. She will not steer you wrong, bro. Like legit. Just, ask tons of questions. If you want a list of questions or want some more info, reach out to Jeff or I. You can find out how to get a hold of Jeff or I. If you look in the description in the show notes, you'll see ways to get a hold of Jeff and I on Facebook and that kind of thing. So feel free to do that if that's something you would like to do. But yeah, Michelle's our go-to, honestly. I just really, I like that lady. And ask Michelle, when you talk to her, this is a great one. She will really enjoy this one. Ask Michelle if she has Chris Hamilton's backpack yet. And tell her you want one as well. She loves when people say that. You will absolutely hear the eye roll over the phone then. She may drop the phone. Just call back. It'll be fine. She didn't have a long memory on that. It's great. She's fun to talk to. Oh, good stuff. Hey, Mike, and feel free to drop my name as a referral. I'm just saying, whatever. That's good stuff. Only if you feel you've gotten some value out of this kind of thing. I'm just saying. It's not required, but it's also nice to get from time to time. Not gonna lie. What else we got going on? We're coming up on the last few minutes here, guys. So if you got something, throw it up there, and we'll try and touch on it real quick. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping this thing here fairly shortly. But hey, if you get a chance, go check out that Freight Waves video. I wonder if I can get a link here. It's a crazy link. Oh my gosh. Is there a way to share this better? They really need a share button on this thing. Copy the link. You could do a search for Freight Waves. The Great Freight Recession is officially over, and I bet you could find it. Or you could go to this crazy link that they got here. Oh my God. This is good luck writing this thing down. I'll put it in the chat. Maybe it'll be clickable for those of you who are live. Nope, because it won't even show the whole damn thing. Good God, it's so long it won't even post in the comment. So I'm not going to post it in there because it won't take you where it needs to go. That sucks. Wait. Maybe. I wonder if this will work. Let me try and pull this bit. Let me test it real quick. Maybe this shorter link will work. That worked. Let me pull that. That one I can post.
What's that now?
The link to the Freight Waves article video. Watch the video. Don't read. I mean, you could read the article. The article is not as informative as the video though. The video is like 28 minutes. The article in audio form is like 5. So there's a lot more info in that video with a lot better descriptions and understandings of what's actually happening. And I think you'll enjoy that. Definitely check that out. I'll throw it up on the screen just for fun.
Okay, here we go.
I like it, Kathy. 0 sugar. I actually do enjoy it. Honest to God. Thank you, Craig. For those of you on the road for Thanksgiving, find an Amish restaurant. It will be just like home. Good food and great nap afterwards. Nice.
I got something for everybody. You ready, Charlie?
Yes, sir. Oh, man. It's a thing.
Donna's It's a Thing meme starring Charlie and the squirrels.
They're my friends. They are my friends.
And don't forget to call Seabright.
Right? Oh.
We like that one. Oh, man.
Heard him. I just ate at B-Dubs in Stockton. I'm now walking a mile down the road to where they shot the exterior of the building that served as where Indiana Jones taught. Gonna get a few photos. I didn't even know that was there. There you go. Look at that. Learn something new.
Either.
Man, you are a movie nerd, sir, and I like it. That is some deep, dark back end stuff right there.
Yeah. For this rock and roll, we call it a deep track.
Right? Deep tracks. Yeah. Those lesser known tracks that really excite the audible nerves. Was that weird? Sorry,
That was really weird. That was pretty weird. That was.
I wasn't quite sure how to flow with that. Didn't even know where I was going to end up with that. When I started talking, I thought, man, this could go horribly wrong really quick. I love the squirrels.
Charlie has a love-hate relationship with squirrels.
Yeah, I love to hate them in my yard. I'll let them live anywhere else, but not in my yard. There's a boundary. They know. They leave my yard. When I walk outside, they like scatter. Anyone else could walk around, squirrels would come up. Hey, we love you. Can we have a peanut? We'll talk to you and pet you. And I walk out and they're like, pew, dust clouds. I enjoy it. Anyhow, you know what? Justice for Peanut. No, Peanut was not one of my friends. Good God. That was horrible what they did to that squirrel. You know about that story, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently this guy had a pet squirrel and a pet raccoon. And the city came in and confiscated them. And because the squirrel, they allegedly bit one of the people removing it, they killed both of them so they could do rabies tests on their brains. Like this squirrel Peanut had its own social following, like a massive social following. And I guess the guy wasn't supposed to have the squirrel or something. I don't know. It was weird. But he raised it from a baby, and the thing was just, oh my gosh. It was tragic. You know, that's different than the squirrels in my yard. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll change my mind one day if a little bit.
So I've seen several YouTubers that have squirrels that they like rescued, like their mama like disappeared, right. And they found them in the yard going,
yeah,
and they raised them, and the squirrels won't freaking leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they have a pet squirrel; it's that the squirrel just lives in the house with them.
Right.
It's like they have this weird thing that if you raise one of those squirrels, they ain't leaving.
Yeah. Well, they attach to you, like, you know, kind of like birds, right?
Yeah.
Or geese, they imprint on you, right? They're like, oh, you took care of me. You must be mama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're going in weird place now. So let's call this thing a wrap, yo.
Yo.
Anything you want to throw out final, Jeff? Bro, where the heck is mine? Oh, you know what? It's on my dash. Got 2 of them on the dash. I love
just
those.
threw it
things.
at you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
So there, I threw something out there for you. You happy?
Nice. He threw an avocado. Avocado. Chris, I don't take the AR out there because the neighbors aren't real happy with me if they hear that. It may be a 1,250 foot per second pellet gun. I don't know. I'm just saying if it happened, it happened. Yeah. Tim, he's definitely a tourist trucker. He goes to all kinds of places. It's amazing. You guys should follow Tim's stuff on his Facebook, and he does some videos. It's pretty fun to watch. I just said she's raised a few babies. Okay, you guys stop it with the baby squirrels. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Jeff's final word is
keep the rubber side down, bro.
There you go. And we'll see you here next week at like every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And you guys take care of each other. No one out here looking after us but us. And take care of your mental health, y'all. Reach out when you need it. Don't be ashamed. There's no shame in it. And we look forward to seeing you guys here next